You ever just want to make a good video? Or I guess this particular format's more of a podcast than a video, but there are days such as this that I want to make a good video. What the world needs is a good video, and this shall be my gift to the world. The World Economic Forum. My understanding of what it is, and the reason I'm bringing it up, let me give you some context. Brian Callen, a friend of Joe Rogan, smart man, comedian though, was on another podcast, and they were talking about the World Economic Forum, and based on my understanding of it and based on the things they said, it's where a big bunch of billionaires get together and determine the woes and the plan for the economy of the globe. I got a problem with that. I haven't been everywhere, and I haven't met everybody, even though I lie about it sometimes. No, I lie about not meeting everybody, but only been around the world twice, only met everyone once. But in those travels, there's nothing that makes me believe that a person who's demonstrated the ability to accumulate wealth knows anything about economics. Let's define economics. In this particular case, I'm going to say that, one, this is a boring, shitty conversation that is not going to help you pick up chicks. But economics would be the nature of retaining value from a produced good or service. Now, there's goods and services that do not have inherent value. What's valuable to me may not be valuable to you. So there's the tricky part. Again, what does a billionaire know about that? Jeffrey Bezos. Let's pick on him. What would he know about farming? What would he know about the value of what a farmer produces because he has a lot of dollars? Some prince from Dubai, who is most likely beyond a billionaire, most likely is a trillionaire. What do they know about farming? What do they know about Amazon and shipping, or how government programs or government services come into play to support that? Same with farming. So because they've accumulated a lot of wealth, they get to work out what the balance is, right? Well, we're gonna close this valve, and we're gonna pay this farmer $30,000 in this quarter not to grow soybean, and that way we're gonna stabilize the food price. I wonder about that with food prices. If all the farmers continue to go to work, if food can continue to be abundant, my understanding then is that abundant food could have been exempt from the inflation cycle. So where some products are experiencing 400% inflation, imagine if food stayed cheap. Heaven forbid. So these billionaires and these economists get together and figure, well, we got to balance this all out. So let's pull back on say beef production. That way the inflation on a ribeye steak can match the inflation that somebody's experiencing when they have to pay their land tax. Trippy. The one thing I will say, there was a statistic I saw some while back, and the amount of money to cure global hunger. It was something reasonable in a way. I want to say it was in the single digit billions of dollars. Now, I don't have $1 billion, but why not do it? So that's what I always wonder when these characters get together in the World Economic Forum. They sit around in a little circle. So why not cure global hunger? Hunger is a good motivator, isn't it? I think such accumulated wealth ends up going into a different category, and in one essence is now insulated from the economy, and there's a danger to it. And I believe that if these billionaires push too far, then people will realize what phony baloney crap it really is once you get past a certain level. I don't like when they just use something as simple as taxation to balance it back out. There's nothing magical about money in a bank, and there's nothing magical about the scarce piece of paper that you give to somebody until the transaction. But how far can you push that transaction, you know? I don't like it. I do find it's interesting that they don't invite Elon Musk, even though he's supposedly the wealthiest man in the world, which doesn't make sense because I'm sure Vladimir Putin and, like I said, some Saudi Arabian princes probably have him beat. But that's something that's honestly not talked about. What would a Russian oligarch have to say at that World Economic Forum? You don't have the same economists that you had during the Reagan era, where they got up and said, "It's the economy, stupid." But it does, case in point, prove, hopefully, to everyone what I like about macroeconomics. I find it fascinating. I believe it marries two things, mathematics and psychology. It's a wonderful study, and interesting to see it played out in this time of so-called transparency. We shall see.